Hello everyone, welcome to Loyal Macaroon's Final Fantasy VI. Anyone familiar with the series will not recognize this at all because this is a mod, but I'll explain that later, I guess. Here with Nathan, who doesn't know anything about any Final Fantasy games, I think. Pardon me?
I do not.
Yeah, so you can see A World Reborn. That's like the name of the mod. The reason is because I don't know. There's a lot of like debate for me on which version I wanted to use. Because to me, I grew up on the Super Nintendo version, but there are like bugs. Like there's magic defense, which it just doesn't work. So it's just magic defense and defense have the same thing. So I'm like, it's kind of easy to just cheese the game by just loading up on defense because that'll. Or it's the other way around, but you can just load up on magic defense and you'll be a tank to both kind of things. So then there's the Game Boy version, which has that fixed and has like the best translation to a lot of people's opinion. But then the soundtrack audio is, I don't know, it's Game Boy, so it's just way worse and everyone says it's horrible. And I never played it, so I don't even know.
Our Game Boy games have good ones, like every Pokemon game, like the 8-bit songs are amazing.
I don't really. Sorry, yeah, I skipped that because if you don't press play, it immediately goes into this. Like you can see, we're just right back here. You can read that if you want.
Ancient War of the
But you don't have to read it out loud. But
When its flames at least receded, only the charred husk of. Okay. You guys can pause it if you want to read it.
yeah. But yeah, so the audio was bad on the Game Boy version. So then there was the what was it? There's the Steam version, which is what I bought, which is just a port of a mobile version of this game, and that's like people were saying it has a lot of bad like movement bugs. So this kind of patched that, and then it also added, like you can tell this is like orchestral music. It's not just like the 8-bit kind of sound, which is obviously like better. Like not to sound like a music snob, but it's like hard to say a professional band is worse than a guy just hitting single buttons on a keyboard.
That's.
So I don't know. It's a little weird, but I'm going with that. I also, this one character you're gonna see, they have blonde hair, and in the Super Nintendo version they have green hair. So I'm like, this is like almost a deal breaker for me because I'm like, that's not my heroine.
You don't want your heroine having blonde hair?
Well, part of it is
Oh
like
my god.
all the yeah, I know. I'm like, that's not stable. But I don't know. It's just what I'm used to. But there's also like 2 major female characters, and now they're both blonde. And I'm like the exact same shade of blonde.
Yeah, when you have that little like graphics, you definitely need the hair to stand out.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know if you read the kind of like intro plot saying what happened.
Not really. I'll watch it in the replay.
Yeah, they're saying so I don't know. The world used to be like a lot more advanced and stuff, and then there was a war of
There's
the
people
Magi.
walking
or
on
whatever.
robots.
This is the best they can do. Just give them a break. So yeah, like a war kind of over magic tore the world apart, and now they're like slowly rebuilding. And this is like they're kind of like a Steam era kind of thing.
Steam era, like the Steam engine.
Yeah, like, but it's obviously like back in the Steam day, they didn't have robots walking around like this through
Yeah.
Winter Storm. So
Kind of like a Fallout type timeline, or
yeah, that's a good comparison. It's just yeah. So right now, we're walking to the city where an Esper was found.
an Esper.
Yeah, just some magic being kind of thing.
Okay.
And so
Oh,
we're 3 people here: Biggs, Wedge, and question marks, which is obviously going to be the major player of the 3, the one that doesn't look identical to the other one.
that where you type in your name.
Yeah, will be prompted soon.
There's a Pokemon game. I think you have to
Actually
name your rival.
Yeah, Gary.
I think it's like the second game, and they said something to make it seem like that was their name. So when it came time to say, "Oh, what's your rival's name?" I'm like, I'd put it in.
Was it a quiz or
What's that?
is it a quiz or do I get to choose?
Yeah, like so I
His name will be Will. Nope, that's wrong. It is Todd. Jesus, you're gonna have a tough time raising this Pikachu.
Yeah. I expect you to catch at least 150 more, so...
Yeah. I always like this scene. I don't know, it's just the opening credits. We're walking to the town where the Esper is found, which, I mean, you might not personally be able to get from this now, but once you play, you're like, oh yeah, it's cool that we're going into the town.
Yeah, it's not remarkable to me at all.
Yeah, this is the first Final Fantasy game to have... Well, I shouldn't say that because I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was the first one to do any kind of, like, 3D motion, like... Well, I mean, if you can call this motion, but...
What year is this? 1996.
94.
94. The year my brother was born.
Nolan.
Yeah.
Or Final Fantasy 6. What do we like more?
Oh, definitely Final Fantasy. I don't even like it.
Yeah, this is all I've seen. But yeah, they were saying we're just kind of some like mind-controlled slave that has remarkable, like, I don't know, powers of some sort. So you can attempt to leave and they'll be like, no, the Esper's probably here. So you gotta go on.
Yeah, typical.
Yeah. Here I'm just adjusting some settings, which...
Why is the battle speed so fast?
I know it's backwards because I set it to 6, which is actually the lowest, or the slowest, I should say. I'm like, who would ever think 1 is the fastest and 6 is the slowest?
You said the blonde girl's brain controlled?
Yeah. She's kind of a slave to...
Like Widow Maker.
Sure, but that's a little, like, she's got an actual device controlling her kind of thing, where Widow's just been...
She seems to still have some...
Yeah, she's still celebrating.
Pleasure in her life.
So yeah, we're just marching through this neutral town of Narshe. People are trying to say, like, oh, defend the town, but this is kind of tutorial. We're just going to murder everyone without much...
Yeah, I don't know if this is
Like,
a bad guy or an ally we're killing.
It's just the guy with a sickle, and we fired a missile at him. Yeah, here I'm just moving people into the back row. The way
Oh, I thought... Yeah, I didn't know you're shifting.
yeah, the way combat works is there's like a front and back row, which only affects physical damage.
Yeah.
So if you're in the back row, you'll receive half damage and do half damage for physical. It'll have no impact on magic. So
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
if you're launching fire beams, it's strictly advantageous to be in the back row. You can get like flank attacked, and then the back row becomes the front row, and that's the only negative. But
Like
nothing you can really do to plan against
Like
that.
that stats bar during battle, it just rises so slowly.
That's because I changed that battle speed to the slowest speed. That's simply, I don't know, for my benefit, because the longer you take to actually input something, these guys, like the enemies, have a chance to attack before you.
Oh. It's not like take your time, you can set your aim down if you want to go to the bathroom.
No.
It's not like Pokemon.
Well, you can kind of do that, though, because you can, if you're, like, already selected an option, like attack, or you open up your item inventory, then it will pause.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, if I don't press anything here, once this pops up, they'll just wail on me until I die.
I like how you murdered everyone so far. And like, oh, we finally cornered them. That's 3 of us.
They didn't even, like, get an attack and just...
Yeah. Shouting we cornered them was like gave away their...
Surprise attack!
It gave away any surprise attack they had.
But yeah, all you gotta do is walk straight north, and
No collectibles or...
yeah, I'll get every single collectible in the game, kind of thing.
A werewolf?
Yeah,
It just looks like a yak.
I think it's called the Vilmammoth. I don't know, because part of the frustrating part, not really frustrating part, is
Jesus.
like the Super Nintendo version. Yeah, like this is just a tutorial pretty much, just to show you how powerful these guys are, I guess. But I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, in the Super Nintendo version, like this guy, there's Wedge, and then the other guy's name is Biggs, but like in my version, his name is Vix. It's just mistranslations all over, so they've all been corrected.
Yeah.
So a lot of names are things I'm not familiar with.
So there.
And this is weird. Like they finally give you like combat instructions, and like I've already kind of worked through like 10 people. I got the gist of it. And it's because this is modded. Like you'll see that kind of like image of the battle menu. It's different than what I have anyways. Right, but
I don't know why they didn't. If it's a mod, why they didn't just bring that up at the very beginning.
yeah.
The last guy he killed just looked like an old hermit in the cave.
Yeah, just like a disgusting man that can solve our problems, but society would rather forget about. These are the save points. It explains here. You can use your certain healing items that'll like fully restore your party.
Yeah.
If you die, you'll end up here. And this is something that I always think every game should have. Like, so you die, you lose the items that you earned, but all the experience you earned, you still keep. So you'll be a higher level if you just keep ramming your head against the same path.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like that way my progress is worth something.
And it gives you a chance to just get a little bit better.
Because like as a kid, you don't really have any strategy. You're just like, I was unlucky. I'll just try the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it'll eventually work because you've wasted 20 lives into this thing.
Then you get mad and just throw your Game Boy on the bed. Not enough to damage it, but just to vent your frustrations.
Yeah.
Glad they merged into one person again. Well, let's head back.
This is one thing I didn't get about the translation. So this thing is called Welk in the original version.
Yeah.
And you'll see here.
Wedge. No, Wedge is the guy.
Those, yeah. Yeah. So it is a lightning Welk, but its name is Emir. So I'm like, did they just decide to give the Welk a name? Like it didn't need a name.
Simon.
Yeah, basically. Simon the Slug, go! Can we just call him a slug, sir? Don't say that about Simon the Slug. So yeah, this is a boss with a bit of strategy. If you hit his shell, he'll do some kind of like pretty powerful attacks. I don't remember if I actually showed it off. But yeah, so he recedes into his shell. And yeah, I guess I don't, but he'll just hurt you if you hit him while he's like that.
Do you have time to react, or is it like you pick your attacks, then all of a sudden he's in a shell?
No, I'd say you don't have time to react, but I've played this. Okay, I do show it off, yeah. So he'll, retaliate with. I mean, it's still a far cry from hurting you, really, because you can heal yourself like 500 health.
Yeah.
But
it's still irritating for those guys.
yeah. We're gonna mess up my machine. And he's dead. But yeah, so you can't really react to him receding in. Like if you've already made your prompt and he tucks in, you still hit his shell and you'll get hurt. But if you're fast, you have enough time for 4 attacks. If you're a little slower, you have enough time for 3 attacks, and that's just kind of something I've.
Is it like Bide from Pokemon? Like each time you damage him, he's gonna deal more damage when it comes out of his shell?
No.
Or is it just?
Yeah. So I'm just editing out a battle that someone I already fought. Because that's kind of what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show every battle with like a unique enemy. But if it's just a battle with all the same enemies, then we'll just skip it out.
Is it like you can just find it? Like I'm referencing Pokemon a lot, but is it like wild Pokemon that'll just randomly appear?
Yeah, they'll just
through tall
pop
grass
up.
or something.
Yeah, it's exactly like. I mean, Pokemon's like a very specific where you'll get attacked, just the tall grass. Or this is pretty much anywhere outside of a town you'll get attacked, and even some towns you'll get attacked.
I feel that must get annoying.
Yeah, it's not so bad. So this is the Esper, by the way.
Where'd our friend Biggs go? Or no, Wig, yeah, Wedge. He's
Yeah.
well, where's Biggs?
But this scene I thought was a lot better with the orchestral music. Like, it just isn't as, I don't know, creepy or scary sounding, I guess.
Is that thing like frozen in the ice or what's?
Yeah. Anyways, whatever happened, we are in a bed.
It's all just a bedroom.
Yeah, there's an old guy waiting for us.
It's like a servant.
So anyways, I'm just gonna stop here, and then I thought we could hop on to our next game, and then we'll come back next week to see what happens in Final Fantasy VI kind of thing.
That's how you're doing it, hey?
Yeah, so we'll go through all 4 games in quick little bits, and you can see the universe of Final Fantasy a bit.
Okay.